Here we go. And we're heading that away.
McDowell Bridge, where we left off a few years ago on our anniversary trip. We're starting here. We're headed to Nelson Landing on the St. Croix River, and it is just short of 48 miles away.
5 nights and 6 days.
Yeah, do you think we're going to be able to do it?
Can we make it?
We'll see.
We'll see. Our first 5 minutes on the water, and we have a barred owl and an eagle. Who cooks for you? Who cooks for you? The barred owl is somewhere in there. Can't see him, but he's called to us a couple of times.
In order for us to know where we are during the day, there are 7 campsites before the next bridge. After the next bridge, we count 3 or 4 more campsites before we look for a place to camp.
Campsite number 1. We're looking. Got a little bit of rain, and there's campsite number 3. There's a critter here not far from all of this. Maybe a muskrat. And another campsite. But they're very shy. They disappear before I get my camera out. But I finally got one. Saw it at a good spot where I'm pretty safe to.
I really think this is a fake duck. They usually fly.
I know you didn't see him, but there was a white-tailed deer just jumped away from the campsite. I don't know what it is. And that must be campsite number 6. Super deep where I am. Really? Brad is stuck. Sandy, shallow. Campsite 7. Another campsite, maybe number 8. Namekagon Landing. So we're paddling approximately 3 miles per hour, which is apparently slower than the river. So right as you come out from under the bridge, hug the shoreline on the left, and there's the Namekagon Trail Bridge Landing. Another campsite. And there's another campsite. At this point, we are starting to look for one to stay. Hi, Brad.
What are you doing?
Paddling.
No, you're not.
Oh.
You're just floating.
I keep missing them. They are just really blending in with the shoreline. Was that our third or fourth deer that I did not get on video? Oh, and there's something in the water. Sorry. Oh, there's number 10. And there are campers. You see the little yellow tent up there? First people we've seen. Another campsite. Maybe a group campsite.
Another campsite.
They're big.
I can't see them.
Wood turtles, maybe.
There's all kinds of them there. There's a bunch of them.
Good sized turtles.
Campsite number 1. Well, our first campsite. It's at N2.7. And I think I forgot to take a picture when our tent was set up, right where Brad is sitting. And all the campsites we went past with nice little steps, we ended up at one with no steps. It's a little challenging getting up and down this hill. But otherwise, it was a nice campsite. Took good care of us. We are still on the Namekagon River. And I don't know about the St. Croix, but the campsites here have little toilets back there. Well, it's one little open toilet. But that's nice. You don't have to dig a hole. Day 2 of our paddle trip. Hoping to get close to 10 miles in today. There was a deer walking along the shoreline, but because of the rapids, my phone was in my waterproof bag. So we just did 3 sets of really easy peasy rapids back there. I don't know if I could even call them rapids. Riffles, maybe. There are rapids on the map, though. And now here's another campsite that's not on our map. There's another campsite. Which one is it?
N1.3.
N1.3. So we're almost to the St. Croix Namekagon confluence. And there's turtles jumping off the rocks.
Too late. Namekagon comes from around the right of that corner, and what we're looking at straight ahead is the St. Croix, and we are currently on the St. Croix.
So this is the St. Croix, and somewhere up here on the right is Riverside Landing, where we're going to stop and eat lunch. There's another campsite. And not too far back, we saw two little bears on the shoreline. Of course, it was right when we were dealing with some riffles, so there was no way I could take a picture. So campsite 133 on the St. Croix was on the right side, on the right shoreline, after a set of long, narrow islands. And the little cubby bears were on the left side of the shoreline. So Brad and I each have a Hydra pack and a water bottle and a bee-free filter. So just before we get to camp, we can find a nice deep spot in the lake and fill up our Hydra pack. It also works for while you're on the river to collect water and drink it. This is my pocket bellows that I learned from Al. Uses an old tent tube, and I bought this telescoping pocket bellows because I don't carry a Wannigan to put the tent tube in, and it's awesome. Oh, the fire is going really good, but anyway, to demonstrate, you just can just blow on the fire.
And whoa, it really goes.
Yeah, instead of like using a Frisbee or, or instead of getting your face up too close to it.
You have something against Frisbees?
You don't want to get a spark on your Frisbee. Anyway, I love my pocket bellow. Chicken vegetable soup for dinner. How is it?
Very tasty.
Yay. Does it taste like fresh vegetables?
It does.
But they were dehydrated. That was some fun standing water with a few big rocks.
Lots of standing water.
Yeah, it was fun.
This is our path between the river and the group camp, which has 3 sets of fire rings and 3 picnic tables.
Okay, here we go. Let's see, we started Friday. We paddled Saturday, so today is Sunday. I wish I could zoom in for the meaning. So we've got big rocks like that, and then little rocks that you can't see because they're under the water. There's a snake. Oh man, where'd he go? Where is he? A snake. Another set of riffles. If the water was lower, would have been class 1 rabbits. And then up here, we have 3 big birds flying around. They went right over our heads. And a campsite or a landing. Riverside Landing. And there's a bridge. Somebody had an amazing meal right there. A deer just ran across that open green space right there in front of the swans. I wish I would have had my camera going. Here's the tracks from the deer that I saw running. So there's a campsite right above Brad's head, and we have a line of rocks right there we have to get through. I'm glad we didn't pick that way to go around the island. Looks even rougher. You're paddling backwards, honey. Couple of turtles. Oh, there they go. All kinds, like almost every rock has a turtle on it. Missed him again.
Did you see him?
I saw him, but I don't think I got him on camera. Oh well. That was fun.
I think this is Trout Brook, and we did see 2 deer up around the corner.
We often pick up garbage when we're paddling. Usually on day trips, it's a little harder to take a piece of garbage that big with us on a kayak trip, especially when we're only halfway through our trip. Wow, it looks like a edge of a boat. Huh. Maybe it came off of someone's dock. We can't carry it with us. Here's our campsite for tonight, 125.5. Oh wow, there's a picnic table. I'll just wait here until Brad unloads. Yay.
St. Croix, 25.5, 125.5 camp.
I would have to say that this is a very pretty campsite. It's probably the prettiest we've been on. And look at this, what we have back here. Babbling brook. Is that nice or what? Now, if it was summer, this would be a place mosquitoes would like to live, I think. But we have had not too much problem. We've had less than half a dozen ticks. And a few black flies and 2 mosquitoes. Couple little bugs. Not too bad. Look at that. Very clean. And then we boil it for 1 to 3 minutes. And we're cooking with gas. No, we're not cooking with gas. We're cooking with wood, but you know what I mean. This is lentils, onions, sweet potatoes, tomatoes, and I think maybe some peppers. And already dehydrating now for maybe 15 minutes or so. The night before was lasagna. Deep in the woods, collecting firewood, sawing it up and getting it ready for us to cook. What a guy.
Who says I can't squeeze water out of a rock?
There's a story that goes with that. Well, this is our campsite, and this is a typical walk along a path that leads to a little toilet that's in the woods, which makes it really nice. We don't have to dig a hole, and it's far enough away. But look what we have here on this path that we didn't have on the other ones. Trillium. There's also big leaf aster here, but lots and lots of trillium along the path. And we get all the way back here to the toilet, and there's trillium everywhere. There's trillium all around the toilet, even behind. Anyway, that's what the toilet is like here along the river. So this little stream, we decided to fill up our water bag. It's a beef-free filter on a Hydro Pack bag. He called it good.
That is the Highway 35, Wisconsin 35, and US 77 crossing the Yellow River near Danbury, Wisconsin. At one time, this was the Sioux Line Railroad. Now it's the Gandy Dancer Bicycle Trail.
There's Brad pretending he's a train. When Brad was a kid, he would get caught staring out the window at school, looking for the train to come by with the Sioux Line caboose on the end of it. And his newest Lionel train car is a white and red Sioux Line caboose for his model railroad.
What a bridge.
Woohoo.
I'd like to see a train go over that bridge.
That'd be fun, wouldn't it? So Brad expected to see a lot of people on Memorial Day, and we've seen 4 people in kayaks, 2 kids up on a bridge, and now I see some more people up here that we're gonna pass. In one day, we've seen more people than we did in 3. Lots of turtles over there on the rocks and logs. There's big turtles on big rocks and little tiny turtles on little tiny rocks. And then a line of turtles on the log. We have done trips where we didn't see anybody for 5 days. But one year we saw 7 canoes with probably 14 or 15 people total. And the funny thing was that the lake was Lonely Lake. The bottom here is so sandy and beautiful. Oh, I think a swim is in order today. But it's so shallow right there that Brad got stuck. I barely made it over. I wasn't sure I would. It was shallow and sandy. Look at, you can see it's not, maybe just above his ankles. He's got about, oops. You can almost see the color change of the water. Right in front of his boat, it's deep. And where his boat is shallow. There's a sandbar. There's a deer across the way getting a drink of water. I'm not gonna be able to hold the boat here. See the deer? This is the Lower Tamarack landing. We found a paddle alongside the water and Brad left it there by the stairs. So here's another campsite. We're wondering where we get out, but there's a bridge right here. So I'm wondering if we get out way back in here somewhere. So we'll see where we get out. There was a deer.
two little bear cubs. Oh, on the river shoreline. Bears, don't run away.
So there's a road and there's a line of rapids with a ledge. The map says to stay left. That's what we'll do. We did it. We did it. There's that long, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but a long line of a ledge, a long line of rocks. Look at how many turtles are on one rock. Well, I collected a Tupperware Rubbermaid lid off the shoreline and gave it to Brad. He's gonna try and carry it. It's so windy. I don't know if you can hear the peepers. And I didn't get my camera out fast enough. Kind of thinking it was a muskrat because it was pretty small. Can you hear the peepers? I better go catch up to Brad. Okay, this is why you filter your water. You don't want any of that muck or any of those bugs.
The best is to bring the water to a rolling boil for at least 1 minute after pre-filtering.
Well, this was our late afternoon break place where I went for a little swim. There's a bird on the oh, he came down to the shore and then saw me and went back up. I don't know what he is. Maybe a sandhill crane. Well, if we didn't stop earlier to swim, this would have been an awesome place to stop and picnic and swim. Look at that. I have no idea where we are, but that would be a place to remember.
And here you can see Brad looking at the map because we are confused about where we are.
Oh man.
I never saw a long neck.
Oh, it had a long neck. It was sort of multicolored and looked light. It was not a great blue heron, but I would not be surprised if it was a green heron. I wonder if they...
Wasn't a cormorant?
Nope, it was not a cormorant.
So your green heron is a pretty good
And then we had an osprey in front of us a little bit ago. Yeah, he's gone. don't know if you can hear the frogs. So we're trying to figure out where we are, and there's a sign on the right. And my guess is that it's St. John's Landing Camp. And
It's not on our river map, so I pulled up my Google map and happened to have enough service to just sort of see where we were in the world.
it's not on the map, so it doesn't really help us figure out where we are for finding our campsite. But we kind of thought we would be coming to a campsite on this Wisconsin side between 4 and 4:30, which it is. So maybe it's just around the bend.
We were looking for campsite S113.1 on the Wisconsin side, and we never found it.
Look at that tree way up there. Looks like a bird. So that's the road for Yellow Banks Landing, and that's past where we wanted to camp. So we don't know how, but we missed our campsite. Well, we don't know if this is our campsite. I can't see the sign from here. It's different than all of the other signs that we were seeing for the riverway. And it's not very used.
We were grumpy. We didn't like this landing. It was mucky, stinky, and hard to climb up.
Sure is pretty though. I'm sure once we get gear set up and some food in our belly, we'll feel better. So this is the little emergency stove that I had in a go bag. And we decided to bring it along just in case we couldn't make a fire. So we're gonna try it. We're gonna experiment and see, does this little stove actually work? This little emergency stove. And it has 2 openings, one like that and one all the way, which we think will work for our pot. It sits on there pretty good. I just really want that water to come to a boil. It's river water. Well, so far I am not impressed with this little stove. Those 3 tablets that I put in there only lasted 5 minutes. So we had to put 3 more in. At this rate, if you're gonna use this stove, you better take 100 of these tablets with you. There's a fire that we can cook with. What do you think of that? Now we're cooking. I should have just made a fire to start with. Of course, I forgot again to show you dinner before I rehydrated it. But this is chili. And it tastes delicious after our... How many miles, Brad?
We kayaked 15 miles today.
We deserve to be exhausted.
We stayed at what we called Terillium, 125.5 on the St. Croix River. And our goal was to make it 6 miles to this campsite. And we ate lunch there. Went through the rapids here. And then we were looking for 113.1 as our tonight site. We went right past it without even seeing it. I don't know how, because these signs are easy to see. We saw a road here and we stopped at Little Yellow Banks Landing to see where on earth we were. Realized we went past our goal, and now we're at 110.3. So we have 9 miles left to the van.
Which we didn't intend for that to happen. Here we are at camp, and the sun is going down. It's low, 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 low.
6 miles
low.
turned into 15.
Yeah.
That's okay.
But we have a beautiful, the birds are singing for us, and we have a really beautiful view. Both the way that we're going to be going in the morning and the way that we came from. Look at that view. Fantastic. Northern Lights right up here, unless I sleep through them. A beaver just slapped his tail at us. There he is.
Oh, look at that.
Somebody inscribed bad on the back of the sign. We now consider it a birding paradise, and it's really pretty. A great view from up there. We had a beaver slap at us right here. So many different kinds of birds. A rabbit, a cottontail, butterflies, a frog, bear poop and no bear. Oh, there was a really, really cool looking bug as well. So there's another Wisconsin side campsite we thought about trying to get to last night, but we were both so exhausted. Okay, there's a landing we've been kind of watching for.
If you get tired of drinking filtered river water or boiled river water, here's a chance to take a short little walk up to the campsites to find fresh well water. We did on this trip find some creeks that were fresh spring water that we filtered. It was nice and cold and had no taste to it like water should.
We picked a really nice lunch spot. There's a little creek coming in, so that's pretty cool. And there are tracks galore on the beach. Deer and, I don't know, maybe raccoon? I'm gonna have to study those tracks.
Maybe otter, I don't know.
Maybe otter. And then a snake, we had a snake staring at Brad for a while. And then it slithered under his kayak and over into those branches. We have sun where we need sun, and we have shade where we need shade for our lunch.
We even had a pollywog.
Pollywog. There's its track. Huh. So there's a little trail under the water from a snail. That snake was here again. He just slithered away from here and he went over here under my kayak. There he is. Oh, I scared him. Oh, there he is. Oh, I'm scaring him. Poor little thing. There he goes. I'm sorry, guy. We're in your space. Let's see, he stopped right there. There he is. Oh, they went under the water. There's one. My silly husband looking for adventure. Stuck on a log. Not a very big one, but it's got him. Oh boy. We've been watching the shoreline for our next campsite, and we believe we may have found it straight ahead. Had an eagle fly in front of me a little while ago. That was pretty cool. He was really low to the water. Flew across the river and into the trees on the shoreline. But I didn't see him when I came around that bend. This looks like a landing. There's supposed to be a campsite with it or before it. I think it's called Sand Creek. We've got our camp set up. We were gonna go across the way to that beach and take a swim. However, it started thundering. So we just worked to get camp set up. Tucked our kayaks back there. Tied them up to the state park sign. Have our tent in a place we think is best for not getting hit by a dead tree branch. And we're thinking about cooking dinner. Can you hear the thunder? Two rangers just drove up just to check things out, I guess, at the end of their day. So at least if a really bad storm does come through here, they know that we're here.
You videoing this?
Yes.
This is the easiest sawing I've ever had.
Yeah?
I'm sitting at a table right in my comfort wheelhouse.
Yeah? And you found some good wood?
Yeah.
So we'll be cooking black beans and rice tonight for dinner. Since it seems like the storm is northwest of us.
Look at that.
Yeah, that is some good looking wood.
Pretty good.
Did you do the Cliffy sniff test? Ooh. All right. I'm very happy that the storm seems as if it has passed us by. We did get a little bit of a rainbow while my phone was powered off. I took so many pictures today, it's down to 20%. And we have a really nicely windy, even though the mosquitoes are still here, beautiful spot. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but there's a rainbow. Aww. I don't see it in the camera. It's up there in the cloud, and it goes down there to the water, to the trees, I guess. Aww, so pretty. What a difference if you look that way with all the, if you look that way, but that's where the thunder is coming from. And that's where the dark clouds are. And then if you go this way, it's a whole different picture of what life is like at our beautiful campsite. Snickers bars can't handle 84-degree days, but we're eating it anyway.
I like paddling.
All cleaned up. And now we're loading the kayaks and taking off. Say goodbye to our snake. Oh, there he is. He's looking at me. Saying goodbye. Goodbye.
Last campsite.
I saw a huge turtle here. And then this is the shoreline where we saw the deer just slowly walking along the shoreline all the way back into that corner right before sunset. I don't know, maybe an hour before sunset. And that turtle was humongous. And then, oh, look at this. Isn't that a beautiful sight?
Glass.
I was talking about you, but yep, the glass is nice too. Only a few minutes of paddling away from the Sand Creek campsite is that landing that we think is Norway Point.
Yup, it's Norway Point.
A young eagle just flew out of the branches of a tree right above me, flew right over me, left a feather behind to float down toward me. I was busy looking on the shoreline trying to find a place to swim. Didn't even see him right there and above me, I guess. Would have been in front of me for a minute. Well, we've been trying to find a beach. This isn't much of one, but all we want is a swim. And it's deep.
Did you just go swimming?
I did. I went swimming. Woohoo! And it was fun. It was refreshing, and I would go again.
We're about a mile away from the van, so. And
That was a big sneeze.
it could be the last swim.
So that was our swimming spot. And that's where we came from. And that's where we're going. So I think that's the Bear Creek campsite. Seems like the Minnesota side signs are different almost every time. Well, in case we ever come here again, there's a really nice little swimming spot right there after the Bear Creek campground that even though our swimming spot was really nice, this one is really good. Sadly, I think that's our landing.